All right. So, I found this morsel from back in the day. Right. I want to talk about this because, you know, and this is from my thumbnail. That's why it's got the stupid blue thing at the corner. Right. So, this is the very intro, the very first sort of information that we receive about any storyline stuff in relation to Mortal Kombat ever. This is the very first bit that we get as far as information for Mortal Kombat, the original game, and the beginning of Mortal Kombat in general. A 2,000-year-old half-human dragon, Goro, remains undefeated for the past 500 years. He won the title of Grand Champion by defeating Kung Lao, a Shaolin fighting monk. It was during this period that the tournament fell into Shang Tsung's hands and was corrupted. So we may very well see that happen, which would be pretty awesome. Right? Be pretty cool. But the highlighted part, half-human dragon, is in relation to, you know, Big Boy, who runs going, this is Onaga. This has to be Onaga. It very may well be Onaga. Right? It may very well be Onaga. Well, not Onaga, but Onaga is like, you know, Spawn. Okay. But I do want to sort of, like, I think I already talked about this a little bit. Didn't I talk about this? Maybe I talked about this a little bit. I did a little bit in my Onaga could be the good guy, right? You know, where I talked about how that, you know, what if Onaga somehow was told by some, you know, prophecy or whatever, or some, you know, time traveler or like prophet or whatever coming to him and saying, hey, the reason why your son Shao is so sick and sickly and stuff is because of what Liu Kang has done to him. And so therefore then Onaga, as a father, goes, right, well, I need to make him strong, because if Liu Kang comes for him one day, he's not going to be able to stand a chance, right? So, and no physician or doctor was going to be able to fix that. Now, going back to this thing about the half-human dragon, and that's what the Shokan were, half-human dragons, right? What if Onaga is a potential key seed for some of these races in Outworld? We can easily see by looking at Shao, even previous versions of him, you know, he's obviously not human. Not 100% human anyway. Incredibly dominant dragon-like or dragon-kin type form is coming through, especially with his horns. Okay? He could very well lose those horns throughout the course of the story, part of a fight or something like that, perhaps. You know, or whatever reason, and end up being the Shao that we know without the horns. Same with his axe, but he's got the scales, okay? He's got the teeth, the ears, the eyes, the horns, everything is all dragonkin, right? And if we... Now, what's interesting though, is that it doesn't appear that that is the same for the Shokan, right? The Shokan don't appear to have this similar sort of like... Oh, hang on, wait a sec. Or maybe they do. Oh, they do. Look at this happy bugger. Look at this happy bastard here. Look at him. He's like, I just got all the drinking. Good on me! Look at him. Look at this clown's face, right? This is like imminent. Listen, man. This is like if an Australian was in Outworld, right? This is us, right? Anyway, you can see here that there are dragon-like scales on his arm. Right there, a little bit down here, right? So yes. So there is some dragon... There is definitely dragon influence. You got a Shiva-like character over here with horns. right? So what if, and because we know, this is the interesting part, because Shokan and Centaur have always been at odds with each other, but here they're just chilling, right? So that may be something else that may come up in the storyline, is that we actually get some sort of explanation as to why there's a falling out between the Centaur, or the Centaur, and the Shokan, right? Now, could it be that Onaga had not only mated with humans and created this human hybrid type Nephilim thing that we see with Shao Kahn or Shao, but he also mated with a Shokan race or whatever a Shokan was before they became a Shokan? That would be interesting. There could be another race of beings in Outworld that are, you know, they don't look anything like, right? You know that forearm chick out of Elden Ring? You know, the hot one with the, right? You know, she's blue, I think, or whatever. She looks like she's made of stone or some stuff. Whatever. She's hot. You know she's hot. Oh, don't lie, man. If you had a chick with forearms, don't lie, dude. Seriously, right? Anyway, the point is, though, what if there's a race of forearm bitches in Outworld, and Onaga, you know, he's just like, you know what? I'll take one of them. Take one of them human ones. I'll take one of them forearm Yegade's over there, right? How do we know this dude wasn't spreading his seed, right? If both the Shokan and Shao have heavy dragon-like influence in how they look and everything like that, how do we know Onaga isn't the tippy top of that? How do we know that? And that through his pairing with these different races then created this new sort of like super breed of whatever it is. So whatever the, you know, if the breed, maybe they're called the Pokken or something, I don't know, right? And then he mated with them and they became the Shokan, right? Who knows? I don't know. It's just a guess though. But this is the very first, this story all the way back to the original, 30 years ago. Half human dragon. Right? Now, if that's true, then what I just said doesn't make sense either, right? Because my brain's like, oh, you need something with four arms, right? But what if, going back to the whole Nephilim thing, now, in case anyone didn't watch that video, Nephilim, it's a biblical thing. It's when the angels came down to protect humanity, and what they did was they mated with human females. They created this race of giants, really deformed giants. They ended up turning on them and eating them and stuff, and then the flood came to wipe them all out. That's the truth, right? So, what if, you know, you get some that end up looking like General Shao, where, you know, you still like only had 2 arms and stuff, but then other ones, they actually grow another set of arms, and they become this like hybrid. I don't know, man. This is what I want answers for. Like, look, if I had John Tobias in an interview, this dude would never leave. I'd be like, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? Can you explain this? Can you write it down? His brain is like, you know, he's just connected. MK-wise, he's just brilliant like that. That's the sort of stuff I care about. This is the stuff that makes me keep coming back to Mortal Kombat, right? And this, you know, drunk, whatever the hell it is, right? That's the sort of stuff that makes me keep coming back to Mortal Kombat and trying to understand and know what, like, is going on. But I'm just so curious about how the race or whatever General Shao is. Maybe it's a once-off. Maybe just bang this one human chick, right? And then, like, out pop General Shao. And keep in mind, we're all thinking, like, the Dragon King is, like, you know, like how he's been portrayed normally, right? But that doesn't mean to say, and given that we've started to see this tech come through with how Reptile's been portrayed, oh, I love this stuff. It's so good, right? This is awesome. with how Reptile's been portrayed, seamlessly swapping between his two forms. We've seen ever so slight with Shang Tsung, morphing back from old form to young. Or as somebody already pointed out, it could be the fact that it's just his costume, right? And he's then morphing into his actual, real look, which is, I didn't think of that. That's great too. But what if the Dragon King has a human form or a humanoid-like form, so he can bang the bitches, right? Spread his wings, if you know what I'm saying, right? But then, like in combat, or if he wants to, flap off, he turns into his actual giant dragon type self. That would be awesome. And you know what? We see, especially in World of Warcraft, you see that with all the Dragonflight type races. When they interact with people, most of the time they're interacting in a human form, because not only is it more agreeable, you can relate and all that sort of stuff, but they actually become human-like. Their natural form is their dragon form, but they can still transform into a human. They're very much like how we see with Reptile, with going from his actual true form into his human form, right? I wouldn't be surprised if the Dragon King is like that. That he's just a regular looking kind of dude. He may not even have, this is the cool part. The Dragon King doesn't even have to look like a dragon in human form, right? He could simply look like just this, just this cool looking dude, and then he just, he transforms into, the massive, Dragon King that we know and love. We see it with Dracula, right? In some movies they portrayed Dracula. They got his human form, but his true self is the one where he looks all very vampiric and demonic and stuff like that. That would be awesome. That would be really, really cool. Sort of. Because you know what's going to happen? Just to finalize on this video, you know what's going to happen? All the chicks over on Twitter, all the stan accounts, all the weird ones, right? Who are lusting after Goanna dick. Reptile, right? They want that gecko cock. Right? Could you imagine if and they're already doing it over Shangers. The dude's evil, bro. And you're sitting there going, yeah, but, I'll just take all my clothes. He can do whatever he wants to me. He can take my soul. Yeah, he will. Dumbass. So imagine they do that for the Dragon King. He's just this Chad. Right? Just this Chad dude, who's probably got some dragon tattoo or whatever. It would also tie in too with Liu Kang. Imagine the twist there is that Liu Kang is the Dragon King, and Liu Kang's form is his human form, and he actually has to unlock. Somehow they are able to separate the entity of the Dragon King, very much like trying to separate the Hulk from Bruce Banner. They took that out and locked it away, right? And so it took away his ability to transform, but that's why Liu Kang is turning into this arrogant kind of I'll do whatever I want type, because the essence of Liu Kang could be the Dragon King, and he can't do it, but he's reaching for the rest of himself. And if he pulls that into himself, then he has the ability to become the Dragon King. I've done the video where Cetrion talks about in MK11, you wield Onaga's fire or something. He goes, I'm not related. And she's like, yeah, humans are so self-assured. Dude, it could all tie in. That'd be awesome. That'd be on for my Johnson. Anyway, guys, catch you next time.